Right, guys, welcome to another session of Art with Sid. So today what we're going to be doing is looking at an art activity that you can do easily at home. And I'm going to be talking you through and demonstrating how you can do that. So I've got some stuff set up, so I'm just going to show you my desk again. So if you're joining for the first time, this is Sid. I'm Sid. I do daily lives at 3:30, and we rotate around different subjects every day. So today's going to be art. Tomorrow we are back to maths, and then we do science as well. So we rotate around every single day, including weekends, 3:30 p.m. on Learn with Sid. So today we're looking at art. And the title of today's session is Crafting Flowers. And I thought it'd be a bit different for us to do something which involves a bit of crafting rather than drawing. So what you need for this particular session is some coloured paper. So I've got myself lots of coloured paper here. You don't actually need very many pieces of paper. I'm going to show you, and you can find lots of scrap pieces of paper. It doesn't need to be A4, but something thin enough. So you don't need card for this particular activity. So you need coloured paper and you need a pair of scissors. So I'm going to share with you my screen so you guys can see what I'm going to be doing. And I'll be setting up my phone so I can see your messages. So if you've joined in, give me a shout out. This is a bit dark, isn't it? Let's see if I can get the lighting up so we can see a bit better. I don't know whether that's a bit better. Is that a bit better? Okay, so what we're going to be doing is a quick activity. So you can see, let's get rid of that. So you can see how you can do this at home. And you might have done this before. You also need, I forgot to mention, some tape. Okay, so those are the three things that we're going to be needing for today's session. All right, I can see that I am live now. So I think it takes a couple of minutes to show up on YouTube. Nayla's saying hi. Simon's saying, I'm leaving Hannah and Amon to do it themselves today. Let's see how they get on. Amina's saying, salam sis. Ruby's saying hi. So lots of new names there today. So give me a shout out. Let me know who's watching, how old your kids are, and their names. Right, so we've got lots of pieces of paper here. Now what we're going to do, the first task is to cut a strip. So I'm going to cut a little strip of my yellow piece of paper and try to get it as straight as possible. Now, to help you, you can just bend that sheet of paper. Okay, so let's bend that sheet of paper. And I'm going to crease it, and that's going to crease. It's going to produce a nice line for me. So I'm going to cut all the way across here. So let's cut that across. So this is an activity that I used to do as a kid. I used to love it. It makes some beautiful decorations. And I call them flowers, but you could probably call them whatever you like. And it's a bit like Chinese lanterns. So you then have to do is fold this. I've got my piece of paper. Let's remove all the other colours so you can see what I'm doing here. So you've got your piece of paper that you've cut out. Now it can be whatever size you like, but start off with a fairly big size to start off with. Then I need to fold this in half. So I'm going to fold this in half all the way across. Okay, and now you've got a folded length of paper. Now with this, we're going to be cutting some slips into this. So where you've got your folded bit, okay, so this is my fold, where you've got your folded bit, we're going to be doing little slips, and you want to keep these as close as possible. The closer they are, the more beautiful your flower is going to look. Okay, you can do them wide, but I find the closer that they are, the more amazing it looks. Now, you don't want to go all the way to the end. So if it helps you, and I don't normally do this, but if it helps you, you can draw a pencil line, okay, like about 1 centimetre away from the unfolded edge. So Iram's saying, Anaya and Ismail have been excited for today's session. I'm excited because I love this. I love doing this, and I thought it'd be nice to share with you. So what you do is you keep that folded, and then you create little slips up to that line that you've just drawn there. Now mine is still quite thick. Okay, I would call this quite thick. For this one, I'm going to show you at this thickness, and I'll go even thinner, and I'll show you what happens when you go thinner. Okay, so what you need to do is to create the slips all the way across. All the way across. This might take a little while. Take your time, because I don't want you taking the slit all the way to the end, because if you do that, then you'll ruin it, and I don't want you to be ruining it. And the amazing thing about this activity is that you can be adding as many layers as you like into your flower. So you could really go to town with this, and I'd love to see what you guys come up with. So do submit your images in. And if you've been watching, I have been putting the submission videos up, even though they've been going up a bit late, because I find that at the end of the day, I don't want to be looking at a screen. So yesterday I was doing some artwork, and then today, hopefully I'll be doing the submission video earlier. So let's take this all the way to the end. Okay, I'm nearly there. So you want to be careful that you don't cut any of the slits out. If you do, don't start again, just keep going. So if you've like cut one of these, if it's too close and it falls out, it doesn't really matter. But you obviously don't want to cut your strip into 2 pieces. Okay, so you've got something like this. Now what you've got to do, where your line is, you just create a fold up. This is going to be a bit harder. Maybe I should have done the fold earlier. Just create a fold up. Okay, all the way across. You can see it's starting to bend already. Right, done that, and then I'll open it out again. So what I've got here is a long strip, but lots of little strips cut out. Okay, now this is the interesting bit. I now have to roll this. So you watch this carefully. I take my finger and I'm going to roll this around, and I keep rolling it, and I keep rolling it. And this is tricky because it comes out really easily. And what you could do, you could put some tape or some glue to stop it from coming out. But I tend to just put the tape right at the end. But then again, it's been a long time since I've done this. And look at that. You've got a beautiful looking daffodil there. I've used yellow, it looks like a daffodil. So the tape needs to go on the end there to keep it together. So you might want to cut some strips out earlier to have them ready, because if I let that go now, it's going to just open out. But I need to get some tape out. So I can grab some tape from over here. And I'm going to show you how to make this flower, how to extend this flower, make it look really cool. So if I get some tape, I need a thin strip. So I'm going to cut my tape into half. I'll use that in a little while. Let's tighten that flower up again, and I'm going to add a bit of tape on the edge. Actually, let me do it all the way around like that. And what you could do with the second piece of tape is just to keep everything together, just put it inside there and fold it back. The tape bit is fiddly, and the folding it bit is fiddly as well. I'm going to cut that extra tape off. Once you get into the hang of this, your entire house is going to get decorated in these beautiful flowers. Okay, so we've got our first flower, and because my tape's hanging off the edge, it's not standing on its own at the moment. Okay, that's my first one. Right, next what you need to do is to get a contrasting colour. So my colours are very pastel colours. This works really well if you've got bright colours at home. So what we're going to do now is to take another piece of paper. Now you could experiment. You could keep all your pieces of paper the same size as your original. Okay, so you could put what you cut earlier. So this is what I cut earlier, and you could cut, actually, so this way around. You could cut another piece which is exactly the same size as your original, or you could experiment with different sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the same size, but I'm going to experiment with the length, or the width, I should say, the width of the strips that I'm cutting. So here, let's cut the same size piece of paper again. And you could really kind of add so many layers on that it's such a big flower. So when I was a kid, I used to add about 10 layers on, and each layer was a different color. And as you add the different colors on, it looks really beautiful. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to create the fold first. If I draw a line with a pencil, you can use a ruler if you like. It doesn't have to be that accurate. Now I'm going to create a fold. I did this I did the fold later on than my first one, but I think doing it first works. And then what I want to do is, now I'm going to do the strips even closer together. Okay, so really tiny ones. Okay, can you see that's tiny? That one's tiny compared to these ones. These are a lot thicker. I can make them even smaller. The tiny one's going to take a lot longer to do though. So you need a lot of patience, and you need to make sure that you're not cutting each of them off and going with a different pair of scissors, because that one's not working properly. That's better. Okay, so I'm taking these strips right to where the fold is, where I've drawn the line as well. Okay, so keep going. Make sure that you don't cut your fingers. Move your fingers along. And you want to get as close to that line as possible, because if you don't go to the end, it's not going to work as well. Okay, so go to the end of that line. There we go. Now this activity used to keep me occupied for hours and hours as a kid. And you can use any pieces of paper. You could try this with wrapping paper, but I think wrapping paper might be a bit thin. But I think it could still work because you're still folding it up. So you could try it with any pieces of scrap paper. And I used to create lots of amazing decorations and then hang them on the ceiling. So imagine this with lots of layers on, hanging on the ceiling. It looks really beautiful. So keep going, keep going. Keep going to the end. Let's see. So guys, if you're watching, give me a shout out. Let me know what color paper you're using. Let me know who's doing this, how old you guys are. Hussein is saying hello, they're having fun. Brilliant. Send me some photos of you guys having fun as well. So not just your artwork, but actually you guys doing it. If you've got videos, tag me into social media, and then I can share them as well. So do share your videos, do share your finished pieces. And it's good to see so many names of people that I know, and also new people as well. So let's see. Okay, this is taking ages now. At least it'll keep you guys occupied, keep the kids occupied for a few hours. They'll probably get bored though. But if you vary the colors, you don't have to have it this long. I've done a really long strip. Because if you look at this one, we did a couple of layers there. When we twisted it together, you had like a couple of layers join up. You don't actually need it that long. Now, there's two ways of doing it. Once I finish the strip, I can put it on the outside of the yellow one, or I can put it on the inside. Just depends on how big your initial one was. So if you look, there's a hole in there. So I could create a spiral and put it inside. Sophie and Sultan, age 7 and 5. Thank you for watching, guys. So I could make a really tiny one and slide it in there, or I could just add it to the outside of this. I think I'm going to add it to the outside of this. Okay. So I'm going to take some tape, stick the edge on, and then I'm just going to rotate around. Oh, can you see how the thinner ones work? They look really nice. I used to love this. Look at how nice that is looking. You keep going, keep going. Oh, wow. Look at that. I love it. So, oh, it's kind of come apart. So you need to make sure it's nice and tight, otherwise it does come apart. So I need to add some tape, and I've done the same mistake again. I've not opened my tape out earlier. You see, it seems to be staying in place. Okay, so you keep doing that. You keep going around lots of different layers. And as you do that, the flower's going to start to grow. Okay, and you can vary the width of your petals, and you can create an amazing design. So I want you guys to have a go. Send me in your images. Send me in images of your kids having a go at making this, and let me know how it works out and whether you've enjoyed it. So this is a quick 10-15 minute kind of demonstration, but the actual activity is going to last a lot longer because you're going to be going off and doing it and trying it out. So let me know how this works and whether your kids have enjoyed it. Tomorrow's session is going to be on maths. So if you haven't tuned into a math session before, give us a shout out. Have a tune in tomorrow at 3:30. Look at that. That's my flower. What you can do, you can push these out if you want to. Depends what kind of flower you want. You can have a flower like that, or you can push it out, create a flatter, have a flower like that. So it's up to you. And imagine now if I've got loads of those, and you could have loads of them on a piece of paper, and it's going to look amazing. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of floral stuff in art at the moment. We'll do other stuff going forward, but we are starting an art club. Well, we've got a current art club which is coming to a close in 2 weeks' time. So if anyone's interested in our regular art club, let me know, and I'll send you some information. And with this, on the inside, what you could do, if I get a different color, just giving you some other ideas of what you guys could do. So if I cut a little thin strip, this is the other thing that I used to do for the inside. Because remember, the inside have little bits sticking out. I don't know what they're called. Now, this is hard for the little kids to do. So if adults can help, so you open your scissors. So kids, don't try this because you might cut yourself. But I'm just showing the adults how to do this. And then you slide this across. And then you've got a little strip that you can stick on the inside. It looks like the flower's coming out like that. So you can do all sorts and make it look really nice and floral. So I'm going to finish this off and then send the video, put the video up as well so you guys can have a look. So if you've liked it, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, share the video, and do send the video out to your friends and your colleagues and let them know that I'm doing these, because it's always nice to know that you're appreciating it and you're following it. So let me know how your flowers turn out. Send the images in, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow at 3:30. Bye.